Hello, everyone. I am Sarah Knapp. I'm so excited to have you all here joining us tonight. So, before we get to Kim, I just wanted to introduce myself and Mappy Hour. So, Mappy Hour is a community of urban dwelling outdoor enthusiasts, and we have chapters all over the US. Pre COVID, we used to meet up in person, share some beer, maps, adventure stories, learn skills together. Since March, we've been doing a lot of these really cool online talks and have been lucky enough to have locals like Kim joining us to share their expertise on the trail. So this summer, we've really been talking about bike packing and getting out of the city by bike and camping. And all of that has been sponsored by Sierra Nevada Brewing Co. And they've been awesome just helping us tell these amazing stories and hear about great ways to get outside. And I did want to share that if any of you all are looking for some beer for your next trip for the weekend, hold on, let me just pull up the code. They hooked us up with a code. It is Get Sierra Nevada for free shipping from Taproom or visit your nearby Whole Foods. And I'll drop that link into the chat. But basically, it's Taproom's online delivery service. So you can get free shipping from them, which is pretty cool. And that's it for me for announcements about Mappy Hour. If you do have any questions, I'm always happy to answer what we're up to. I'm Sarah at outdoorfest.com. I will also be the moderator for tonight. So you can find me in the chat, which is below the screen, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or our website. We want our chats to be safe spaces where people feel free to ask questions and express themselves. No bullying, harassment, intolerance of any kind is okay. And I'll be in there just making sure that is the case. So without further ado, I am so excited to introduce Kim.
Hi, everyone. Hello, my fellow outdoorsmen. So as Sarah introduced, I'm Kim, and I will happily be showing you how to prepare some easy and delicious ramen for your next outdoors adventure. I'm just gonna change the camera angle so that you can see my setup. Let's see. So I have a portable gas stove setup that I like to use since it's very convenient to break down. And the Star Pocket Rocket. Ideally, I'd be able to stream this outdoors for you guys, but for the sake of having a steady streaming connection, I'm doing this at the convenience of my home. So start at the flame, and I cheated it up a little bit. Have some hot water ready in my pots. So let me explain to you what I have set up. So I have instant noodles, okay. Trader Joe's pork belly. It's fully cooked. There are many options in regards to protein and personal choices on other toppings like egg, vegetables, scallions, kind of a must for me. Onion family, so good. But in regards to different your own personal preferences, dietary restrictions, broth is a matter of importance, I understand. So for the vegetarians and vegans out there, you can opt for things like vegetarian bouillon cubes that you can find at like Whole Foods, I guess more common supermarkets as well. And then also, if you happen to be celiac, where you cannot consume wheat, you can opt for rice noodles. Just something about like noodle soup is just so nourishing. So I say that if you can swing hot soupy noodles, do it. So This is definitely on the more affordable and accessible spectrum in regards to like seasoning pack. See, oh, my water's ready. All right, 1 sec. I'm also going to explain the toppings I have laid out, but for now I'm just going to get this going. Personally, I prefer using a portion of the seasoning pack, not the full thing, just out of sodium concerns. Utensil-wise, I have spork, campers. Chopsticks are a great idea. My friend Christine recommended chopsticks to me because they're great for not damaging your pots and pans. They're also just very versatile. They're space saving. You can pick things up. Well, I'm not trying to show off my chopstick skills. I'm not a good Asian right now. Got the noodles going in there. So Nappy Hour has a blog post that you guys can follow up on for everything that I'm mentioning in this video. But what I want to convey is that you can follow the noodle instructional packets for cooking time. The Marchan and top ramen, it really only takes a few minutes, like three minutes. Okay, so toppings. Toppings, you really can just go whatever route you personally decide to go on. In terms of like room temperature, veggies, or even like bok choy, sweet bell peppers, avocados, leafy greens. What I like to do is pack things ahead of my trip in Ziploc bags, that like eggshells over here, and then also treat them as like a garbage bag for carrying out later. Let me see. So personally, I happen to have bok choy around, so I opted with that this time. Varies for me every outing. Scallions, soft-boiled egg, which I personally prefer to be soft-boiled at about like 7.5 to 8 minutes. Let's see, we'll get one out. So these were already soft-boiled. So I'm gonna cut it in half. This is my little portable cutting board I got from TJ Maxx for a few bucks. It's excellent for these purposes of getting out. Highly recommended. Oh, I should cut the bok choy as well. Slight tangent, but when it comes to bok choy, as a Chinese person, I recommend baby bok choy, so which you can find at Chinese supermarkets. Same goes for cured pork belly, which I also highly recommend. I have fully cooked pork belly here, which you can find at Trader Joe's for about $6. Highly recommended. So good, so easy. They do the work for you. They cook it down. Let's see. They cooked it down for a certain amount of time already, so it's already really tender. So all you really have to do is, it comes as a pale block of pork belly. So really all you have to do is just slice it up and brown it yourself. What you can do is, if you happen to have pulled it out with you while you were outdoors, you can brown it up on your pan. Again, I did it ahead of time for the sake of convenience. I'm gonna add my bok choy right now while things are hot, so it can cook down a little bit. I also have a little bit of oil here if I wanted, if say that I were out and I wanted to brown my pork belly slices. You can buy like the little air travel containers to pack like seasoning or oil as I have, or even condensed milk for your coffee. Again, for the sake of being able to carry things with you while you're out, whether you're bike packing or backpacking, I do backpacking year round, by the way. So in terms of planning and portability, I definitely focus a lot on space saving measures and weight. Turn up the heat a little bit more. Slice some scallions. Preferred stove choice. I happen to have two gas stoves. This is the MSR Pocket Rocket 2. It's great. My friend Christine got me onto it. It's excellent because it packs down into this tiny container. It's been great in high altitudes, especially out in Colorado. High altitudes and winds. There are such things as windshields, like metal windshields you can put around your gas stove to help the flame burn more efficiently and challenged by windy conditions. By the way, I'm chopping up scallions right now. I already have some out, but why not, for the sake of this video, chop up some fresh scallions. Oof. Add my brown pork belly. Really good stuff. Highly recommend it. But yeah, the cured pork belly that I happen to be a fan of, you can find in Chinese supermarkets. It's seasoned well. It has a better shelf life, I guess, if you're concerned with carrying meat outdoors. It's pretty straightforward. Pop in that soft-boiled egg. Let me clean up a little bit. And Aldi, yes. Smoked meat choices, excellent. Good stuff. Yeah, smoked meat. It's a matter of preference, like what kind of protein you want to add. I'll turn off the heat. People can opt for ham, sausages. Cooked chicken strips are available at most supermarkets as well. It's definitely like your own call what you feel comfortable with carrying out in like certain temperatures. Obviously, if it's colder out, like 40 degrees and colder, then basically you're in an outdoor fridge. So I think that the flexibility and that is better. I've definitely carried stuff out in 90-degree temperatures, and cured and smoked meat are safer in that regard. So let's see. Eggs. Yes, the eggs. So here we see, this is my container of choice. This happens to be a KFC takeout container for sides. I believe this was mashed potatoes. Uh, I like to pack my egg in here along with my bok choy, scallions, even meats. I'll pack in here and just bundle all of that together. I've seen individual egg cartons at like REI, so it can come in like a 2 or 4 pack, so it individually protects, like shields the egg, one whole egg in each divider. If you were to like stuff into your backpack or bike packing bag. Right, let's see. Let me show off how this came out. So I have quite a bit of broth in here. Got some scallions. Top that stuff off. In terms of like what you want to add to your ramen bowl, the world is your oyster. Do tofu, wheat gluten. I've seen like mock chicken strips in wheat gluten form at Trader Joe's. Also good stuff. Yeah, this was like 50-cent ramen with some bok choy. Again, you can find bok choy at like Chinese supermarkets or even Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. But I've used leafy greens, spinach before, whatever I happen to have lying around. It's my soft boiled egg. Soft boiled egg, just so nourishing when you're out on the trails. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Super simple. Yeah, there we go. So while these are on the lowbrow spectrum of noodles, you could definitely, I've mentioned before, gluten-free options. You can do rice noodles. There's a brand called Rice Ramen that I've found for a celiac friend of mine. So I found rice ramen at like Whole Foods and Target. But because they're rice noodles, they do cook quicker and they're like a little gummier and they stick together. So I'd shorten the cooking time, especially if they're going to linger in a hot soup like this. Yeah, things are pretty much good to go on here. Yeah, any questions? We are opening that up to everyone. There are also higher end noodles that you can find. There's something called like Sun Noodle if you happen to be in the area of like New York, New Jersey. Sun Noodle is like fresh ramen that you can find in the refrigerated section. You can buy the noodles on their own or with the soup packet like shoyu or like miso. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Have I ever had a ramen fail? I don't know. Ramen's pretty hard to mess up, to be honest. It's a very flexible thing. I mean, maybe overcook the noodles a little bit so that they're too soft. But no, I mean, all the components are pretty much delicious in like a soup base. And then honestly, when you're out, like outdoors, things are going to taste delicious, like all together. You know, you're just going to be like, oh my God, I have a hot, life-giving bowl of noodles after covering like maybe 50 miles on my bike or hiking like 5 miles. Like this stuff is going to give you life. I don't know. It's just, I don't think I've heard of someone who has complained about having ramen outdoors after an adventure before. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess no other questions. I guess we can bring back Sarah.
Hi. I wanted to add, there is one more question. What are some other common foods that you bring while backpacking?
Common foods while backpacking.
Yeah.
Personally, I like minute rice and couscous because they're low maintenance and quick to prepare. Minute rice really takes a few minutes, and same with couscous. You really just leave it in hot water, let it soak up and expand, and prepare other things, and then come back to it. So you can prepare like veggies, and have like other things like proteins to mix with it as well.
Cool. Cool. Awesome. Well, I think those are all the questions. That was awesome. Thank you. We had a couple people who have made ramen before and have some suggestions for like putting seafood in and Black Forest speck, which I don't even know what that is, but I have a lot of ideas now of things to try in my ramen. All right, cool. Well, everyone can follow Kim on Instagram. Let me just double check. At Kimberly_Lee, is that correct?
Kimberly, period. LLEE.
There it is. Cool. And okay, we have a couple more questions. So I'll hang out and ask them. All right. How about cleanup after? Bears are sometimes an issue. My containers have a smell after ramen. Any tips?
I'm sorry, what was that last part? Something smells. Any tips?
Yeah, I think when the containers smell from ramen, do you have any tips for cleanup? Because this person is saying that bears are sometimes an issue.
Right. Yeah, definitely a responsible thing to be concerned about. Yeah, like with any foods, containers, Ziploc bags, even like toothpaste, anything that has a fragrance. Really, you really want to put it into like a bear bag, and then hang it from the tree. Or I mean, and if you happen to have like a bear canister, that would be better. But as with anything that has like touch food, that has like the aroma of some kind of food, you want to like pack that all together into a bear bag and hang it from the tree.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good advice, whether it's ramen or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Joe asks, so when you're packing your backpack, where are you actually packing the food items? Top, middle, bottom of your pack?
Good question.
That is a good question.
Good question. So when it comes to things like eggs, sometimes I'll have it like in a shell. Sometimes I won't. But regardless, I'll put that in the top of my bag, whether it be in my bike packing setup or in my backpacking setup. That's definitely something that I prioritize to the top. Even with this plastic top container, I just like to take that precaution just to have a nice meal later. It's definitely more of a luxury for that to be concerned, but yeah, top of the pack.
Cool. Sweet. Okay, now I think that's all the questions. All right, so this is awesome. Thank you, Kim. Thank you for everyone who joined and asked questions. It's awesome to just like have everyone engaged and chiming in with what you're doing. We actually had someone who's in Harriman right now watching, so that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I was like, that is a first for our live stream. I know. He said he's making ramen right now as well.
What? That is, I love that. That is some hardcore respect. I love that.
Yeah. So yeah, hardcore respect. Oh, and we have one more. Spam as an ingredient. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's good. It has a good shelf life. It's you can definitely carry that without being concerned about the temperatures that it's exposed to. I know people can have their opinions on Spam. I personally think it's delicious. When it comes to food outdoors or ramen, like I know that Spam can be seen as like certain cuts of like meat in a can kind of thing, lowbrow maybe, but I think it's delicious. It's a great addition to ramen. I do it.
Yeah, cool. I'm not a person who's ever had spam, but we're having a lot of hearts and thanks. This was awesome. Comments.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend doing this if you haven't already. I mean, even like without toppings, ramen on its own, it's good.
I also feel like the day after you eat ramen, you feel better because you're like extra hydrated. I don't know if this is just a thing in my head or not, but like I feel better today because I had ramen yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, physically and mentally, it is so nourishing, especially all that work that you put in.
Yeah, seriously. All right, cool. Well, I am gonna just close it out by saying if you all head to the trails and make some ramen, you should totally tag Kim and I'm Mappy Hour, on Instagram so we can share all the creations that everyone is making. And I'll also add if people have ideas on sessions like this they want to see in the future, it does seem like we are going to be online for a little bit and not back in person as soon as we would have liked. So I'd love to hear from you. It's really fun, right, Kim?
Yeah.
Okay. And, I think all of us have really cool either skills or pro tips that we can offer. So if you have any ideas of things that you want to share with the Mappy Hour community, definitely let me know. And last thing to plug is that we have 3 events next week. One is this amazing ultra runner, Corey Woltering, who's going to be speaking on running, obviously, and his experiences as an ultra runner. We're going to be having these guys who bike packed the coast of Maine and made a film about it and just talking about like how they even came up with that idea, how they did it, and then how they went ahead to like find sponsors and make the film and get it, produced and all that good stuff. And then we'll be phone banking. So I'm going to end tonight with you should join the phone banking, but even if you can't, you can make sure to go vote because we love democracy here at Mappy Hour and America. So if you do have any questions on the voting, and it's not specific to the outdoors, just participation, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help with that, especially if you're in New York. I just went through the process myself, so feel free to reach out about that. That's all I got. Kim, anything else you want to add?
I guess like anything else, just check out the blog post by that Mappy Hour published just last night, I believe, for everything that was pretty much reviewed through this video.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. I dropped that in the link at the top of the comments for everyone, but it's also at mappyhour.org/blog. And yeah, that has like everything listed out. So hopefully it makes it super easy for you to kind of like dive into it on your own time or when you're actually packing for your next trip. All right. That's it. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Until next time.
Get out.
Bye.